I got it! Wow!
Introducing the G.I. Joe USS FLAGG aircraft carrier.
Sky Striker landing!
It's big, tough.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Well, the summer months are almost over, and I'd figure we'd end it with something big.
So I'm giving you my top 8 G.I. Joe and Cobra playsets. This list does come with a few asterisks and caveats though. For one thing, I'm only including big playsets. So there will be no battle stations or battlefield accessories on the list. Maybe they'll get their own list next year or something.
For another thing, the actual definition of what a G.I. Joe playset is murky at best.
It really is up to the individual. So you might see some stuff included that you'd consider a vehicle, or something excluded that you'd consider a playset. I'll tell you right now, the General, Rolling Thunder and Thunderclap aren't on the list, because I consider them vehicles. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Also, standard disclaimer, just because it's not on the list doesn't mean I think it's bad, blah blah blah.
Anyway, let's get to what you're all here for, the list.
Number 8. The Pit Mobile Headquarters from the 2009 Rise of Cobra line. This thing was a huge surprise. After the original line ended, nobody expected Hasbro to ever again put out a huge G.I. Joe playset, but for the movie line, they went all out and gave us the Pit. This behemoth showed the confidence they had in that movie.
That confidence wasn't entirely justified, but we got some cool toys out of it.
This playset also proved to be the swan song of huge G.I. Joe toys, as this was the last of its kind made.
Well, at the time of making this video anyway, maybe one day HasLab will surprise us.
Number 7. The 2001 G.I. Joe Headquarters. Hey, did you notice the disclaimer I gave didn't say there wouldn't be repaints on this list? Yeah, here's the reason for that. The 2001 HQ is a repaint of the 1992 one, but in slightly better colors. So that's why this one made the list, and that one didn't. Both are still pretty cool with tons of play value though. Oh, and spoilers, this and the Pit are the only playsets on the list that aren't from the original line.
Which brings us to...
Number 6. The Tactical Battle Platform. Of course this one was gonna be on the list. I gave it an honorable mention on my What Are Vehicles list because this was the first playset I ever got, and I used it as G.I. Joe headquarters for quite some time. I love the way it packs a punch with a missile launcher and cannon, plus it came with a gun rack and 5 weapon accessories. Just fun all around. Number 5. The 1983 G.I. Joe Headquarters.
Okay, confession time.
I don't own this, nor have I ever owned it. But it's such an iconic thing there would be riots if I didn't put it on the list. So consider this the peer pressure entry. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool and looks like a ton of fun, but I never saw the toy as a kid. So my first exposure to it was seeing a sort of version of it in the cartoon. Only later did I see the actual toy.
So yeah, I was a little disappointed.
Still, I can't deny the historical significance of the toy, so it deserves to be on the list. Number 4. The Defiant Complex. This was the second toy I used as my G.I. Joe headquarters. Well, the crawler part anyway. This is one of those ambiguous things whether it's a vehicle or a playset. It's 2/3 a space shuttle and 1/3 a crawler that can, crawl, but you ain't gonna be moving the thing around much. It's one of the biggest playsets out there and has so many neat features.
It just had to be on the list.
Number 3. The Mobile Command Center. This was a real G.I. Joe headquarters. Motor pool, command room, helicopter pad. It even has beds for crying out loud. How many G.I. Joe toys have beds? It's basically the Pit if it were above ground and on wheels. The crawler folding out to become a base is a great feature, but it's kinda cumbersome, so you're not gonna do that a lot. This does answer the question whether it's a vehicle or not. In crawler mode, it's a vehicle. In base mode, it's a playset.
Best of both worlds.
And yes, I have to mention there's no great mystery about what inspired the look of this thing, namely the Sandcrawler from Star Wars.
And now it's time for numbers 2 and 1. I think I'm gonna catch some flack for this one.
Number 2. The USS FLAGG.
Hey, I think that the flag is awesome. I just don't think it's the best, okay?
There's no denying the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier is legendary, not just among G.I. Joe fans, but toy fans in general, and even with the general public. It has room for multiple aircraft, and at the time probably every G.I. Joe figure a kid would have, since it's the size of a coffee table. It's a great toy, and it's worthy of a place in history.
But to me,
the number one G.I. Joe playset is the Terrordrome.
Look at my shirt. Did you really expect anything else?
And do you know what the Terrordrome had that the FLAGG surprisingly didn't? Its own aircraft! And while the firebed is a very nice cherry on top, the meat and potatoes of this sundae is in the layers of the cake.
I really should have had lunch before doing this.
What I'm saying is, it serves as a launch base, sure, but can also be Cobra headquarters or an unusually large bunker. It's got rooms, including a jail and great-looking guns. It's also the only playset Cobra got in the original line, making it extra special. I can say without fear of exaggeration that this is the pride and joy of my collection, and I was lucky to pick it up for like $300 in the early 2000s.
Especially since the Terrordrome was never released in Belgium.
It's pretty much the perfect playset, and that earns it the number one spot on this list. Well, there you have it. Did I leave any out, or would you have put something else at number one? Do let me know in the comments below.
I expect that a few fans of the FLAGG will have some choice words to say. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing.
I got it! Wow!
Introducing the G.I. Joe USS FLAGG aircraft carrier.
Sky Striker landing!
It's big, tough, and built to carry all the planes, men, and equipment Joe needs to go into battle against Cobra.